What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video on my college experience and then my after college experience. I was contemplating on this video because I'm I feel like I haven't been out of college that long. I literally graduated in November 2021 and it is currently, can y'all see that? No, y'all can't. That's my sister texting me. Well, it's 12:49 in the morning and I feel like I should just make a video because I don't go to sleep until past 3. Really, I try to stay up till 3, but my body really don't really rest until 5 because I work at night, so I sleep in the day and be up at night. But besides the case, it's 12:49, it's April 9th, 2022. And I'm like, man, it was on my mind, so I'm like, let me make this a YouTube video. But my college experience was great. Freshman year, that's the best year. That's the year you kind of you're away from your parents. You kind of get to have fun. It was cool. Went to a couple parties. Used to I always go to the HBCU right down the road, which is Grambling State University, and most of y'all should know that university if you don't. But yeah, I just spend most of my time there, hanging with friends there. And the crazy thing, the crazy thing is I used to do all of this freshman year and used to have really good grades, and I'm like, how? If I'm always out, how do I have really good grades, So, yeah, so, freshman year was good. Sophomore year, it was still good. You started seeing people go away, do their own little thing. Some people stayed, some people didn't. My sophomore year for me was kind of hectic in a way because a lot of things started to happen. I can say my roommates freshman year, I had no problems with them at all. There were some cool roommates. And then sophomore year, I did have some roommate issues, but that got solved kinda on its own. I'm not gonna speak on that because that stays between me and the people that I lived with that year. But then I can't say that last couple, me and my best friend, we had started to live together, which I don't regret. That was really fun. But I feel that year was kind of like freshman year. I used to just do what I want to do. Class wasn't I don't want to say it wasn't an option, but I would go if I felt like it. I just felt like it wasn't mandatory, so I would just do what I want. I would go out and party. So I'd probably stay at home as if I knew I had a test the next day and I knew I needed to study. But sophomore year was cool. What else about sophomore year? I started going through a lot. That's when I first started going through depression, I think. But yeah, sophomore year was when I realized I had depression. I wasn't eating for days and all that, and I figured out, I was depressed due to everything that was going on. I started learning a little bit about life, and things wasn't going right, but I was still pushing through, smiling and all that. But I just kind of learned it's life, you're gonna get over it. So still had good grades, not going to class, still had good grades. And it was cool. And then junior year is when I changed my major because I was accounting and I switched to finance for 1 quarter, and then I realized I don't like this at all, so I switched again to business management because I'm you can't go wrong with business management. And that's when I started feeling a little bit more bad because I'm I don't know what I want to do, but I didn't even know if I wanted to be in college junior year because it's I don't know what I want to do. I feel like I'm wasting money. If it ain't one thing, it's another. I ain't got no money out here in these streets. I'm surviving off of refund checks, which was a good thing. Refund checks was so good. But I don't know, I was trying to find out, what do I want to do? Why am I here, And like, I went to a quarter system school, so it's really fast. I felt like I was running out of time trying to think, okay, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? If I, change from, like, I knew I wanted to be in business, I can say that. So, like, I knew if I changed my major to something completely different in business, I still wouldn't be held back. So that was the good thing. So, yeah, so I just did business management. I just kind of stuck with it, like, it is what it is. Like, we just gonna thug it out, we're gonna figure it out later. So junior year was good. And then, like, also I can't say, like, for accounting, I did have, like, study group, but I'm so introverted. I did not like studying with other people. Like, it wasn't them. It was like I'm very introverted. So, like, they would ask me to come study, and I'm like, no, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Like, I'm introverted like this. Like, I study on my own. I've never, like, studied with a group, like, in high school. Like, well, I can't say high school, but whenever I needed to study, it was always, like, by myself. So that's what I'm used to. But yeah, so I don't know. And I just felt like it was more for them than me, because they would make good grades and I would make, like, okay grades. So I'm like, okay, like, I'm happy for y'all, but it's like, what do I got going on? Like, I put in the same work as y'all. Like, I study, like, even after I did leave the group, whenever I did go. But, and then senior year was very, very complicated. This one I finally got accepted to do some work study, and work study was fun. But senior year was like, senior year is the year you really gotta buckle down, pay attention, and all that. And, like, I know one class, supply chain management, I was studying hard for it, and it's like, I would not do good on the test. So I'm like, dang, I'm gonna have to retake this class. And it kind of pushed me back for graduating, and that broke me down. I was like, do I really want to graduate? I don't even want to do this anymore. Like, I studied my butt off and I'm still failing. Like, I don't get this. Like, what's the point of going to college? Like, I was just on a rant, like a whole rant. So I just took a breather, and I'm like, okay, I'm basically at the finish line. I just gotta pass this class and a few more, and I can just be out of here. And so, I mean, I really, like, buckled down. Like, I took the class again. I was literally on borderline of passing. Like, I can say that I had a 64 in the class, right? Or 67. No, it was like a 64, and at Louisiana Tech, you gotta make a 60 for a D. And correct me if I'm wrong, if you're watching this, you go to Tech. But you gotta make a 60 for a D, right? And I'm like, oh gosh, we got one more test. We had 3 tests, and I made D's on the first 2. And I'm like, oh my gosh, bro, I gotta graduate. Because at this point, I didn't have no more money to pull from FAFSA for that year. So I'm like, if I fail this class, I'm gonna have to find some way to pay this class out of pocket, And so I was studying, probably like 10, 12 hours straight. And I finally made like an A on the last test, which brought me all the way up to a C. Thank God. So I ended up graduating or whatever. And it came to the point where at first I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna graduate. Well, freshman year, yeah, I'm gonna graduate. I'm gonna get my master's right after. And then, like, after sophomore year, I'm like, well, what's a master's? Who getting the master's? Not me. And not me. And then I remember, like, when you're a senior at Louisiana Tech and you're at your last quarter, or before you hit that quarter, you have a meeting with your advisor, your graduating advisor. And you only meet this advisor like one time. That's the crazy thing. Like, I think you only meet them one time. I maybe talked to mine twice, because I told her. I actually talked to mine twice, because the first time I was like, yeah, I'm probably not going to graduate. She was like, are you sure? I'm like, I'm sure. But after that, you sit down, talk, and be like, okay, are you getting your master's? And I'm like, no. And then, they ask you, do you have any jobs offers or any of that? I'm like, no. Like, I didn't. Like, I didn't have no job offers, no nothing. And now I can say this. Tech do be having, like, little career fairs and all that. But the thing was, I knew I didn't want to work in Louisiana. Like, I don't want to work in Louisiana. Like, I don't want to be in Louisiana. Why would I sit here and settle for less when I know I want more, you know? So, like, I didn't really attend the job. Well, I attended some of them, but they was never, like, in Texas. It was mostly in Louisiana. So, I'm like, I'll go for the bonus points. But, yeah. So, I mean, college itself, overall, if you without the schoolwork, it was fun. Like, I really had fun. But and there was a lot of life lessons too. But with the work, I wouldn't do it again. Like, it had me stressed, depressed, sleep deprived. Like, college is not for the weak. And it's like, if you don't have the support, it's like, how do you expect for me to keep going? You know, if your own family don't support you, how you expect for me to keep going? And I feel like the main person that was on my side, family-wise, was my dad. Like, that was the person I called when I felt like dropping out. Like, he knew. He was like, I remember the last conversation we had before I graduated. And it was, I don't know if it was my last quarter or second last quarter. He was like, I'm so glad you finna graduate because it sounded like you was about to drop out today. Like, I used to be so tired of failing, like studying and failing. Like, literally in high school, I could look at something for 5 minutes and make an A. Like, what? But college showed me, okay, you think you smart? I'm gonna show you. And it, like, I don't know. And I never, like, to the people that I saw, like, stop going to college, I'm like, you know what? Good for you. You finding yourself doing something with your life. Meanwhile, I'm keeping going. I'm really going to college because, you know, my family. Like, I'm gonna put a degree under our last name, you know, something like that. So, yeah, like, if you don't have the support, like, it's really hard. And, like, trying to have a job that's not work study, I did that freshman year. I said, I quit. Like, because it's not fun. It's very hard. But when I did work study, it was more easy because it, like, fit into my schedule. And, yeah. So, graduation was cool. It was like an unbelievable moment because it's like, dang, I really did this. I stood through it. Like, I'm really proud of myself. Like, yeah, it was cool. And then, like, you know, life after graduation. So I went home for 2 weeks, I think. Yeah. And then I came out here to Dallas because I had an interview with somebody. But it was cool. Like, I worked for them for, like, 2 months. But it was, I ain't gonna say that. It was alright. It wasn't even cool. It was alright. Like, it was doable. But my thing is, like, trying to find a job in your field, unless you got like an intern or like connections. I didn't do an intern because the year I was supposed to do an intern, that's when COVID hit, and it's like, damn, this the year I was supposed to do an intern, but I couldn't do it because of COVID. So, like, it's hard to find like a job in your field, like, unless you just have connections. Like, people out here, like, they were literally turning down, like, I've heard of people, which I'm not doing this, but I've heard of people say, yeah, I put in 100 applications to different ways before I got a job. And I'm like, 100? I would have stopped at freaking 5 to 10, because it's like, I got turned down so many times. I'm like, okay, maybe it's not the time, you know. But it's like, why am I getting turned down when I sat here and went to college for all these years, got myself into debt, and then the people who do want to hire you want to, like, underpay you. And it's like, so I didn't go to college to get paid $20 and under, you know? Like, what was the point? You know, I didn't went through all this debt just to get paid, what, let's just say $15, $16, $17, $18, $19, $20. Really, you shouldn't even get paid $20. Really, I feel like if you have a bachelor's degree, you should get paid $25 and up, because that is some hard work getting a bachelor's degree. And I don't care what nobody's saying. I don't care what kind of degree you got. I mean, you put yourself through college. That's stressful enough. So it's like, that's why I see why people go through like post-grad depression, because it's like you just working so hard to like fight for a spot, and people are overlooking you because you just graduated college. Like, people don't want fresh out of college people, you know? And then some people would tell you to get your master's, but here's the thing with that. You would get your master's and probably get paid $2 more than somebody with a bachelor's. And it's like, me personally, I'm not getting a bachelor's. I feel like it's a waste of money. My aunt, literally, the day I graduated, I said, I am done. I'm not going back to school. And my aunt like, yes, you are. You're going to get your master's. You must go. If she paid for it in full cash, yeah, I'll go. But you not finna tell me what I'm finna do, because I didn't sit here and went through depression and all that. Like, I'm not finna. And plus, like, I don't want to work for corporate America for the rest of my life. Like, no. And that's another thing too. I feel like a lot of people go through postgrad depression too, because it's like, do you really, like, sometimes you really think about it, like, do I really want to work in a corporate America world? Like, I'm not saying having a 9-to-5 is bad, because it's not. Like, if it's paying your bills, then that's amazing. But what I'm saying is, like, I don't know, like, do you really want somebody telling you what to do all the time? Like, I know I don't. I like to do what I want to do. That's kind of like, I'm doing what I want to do. And what's it like? People also go through postgrad depression because it's like, I went to school. Let's just say I went to school to be a doctor, but now I don't want to be a doctor. You know, and now you done wasted all that money, and now you got to figure out what you want to do. So it's like, you go to college so young and you don't even know what you want to do afterwards, and your mind gonna constantly change. Like, that's the scary thing. Like, yeah, I went to college for this, now I want to do that. But I feel like when my degree is so broad, like, I'm good. But I'm just speaking for like some people. But yeah, like, I know, like, I just want to be I just want to be a influencer, like, making people happy, making people smile, getting people through depression, helping people with anxiety, helping Black girls, making them feel like that wearing their natural hair is okay. I literally had this one girl, she was just so in love with my natural hair. Like, she was just staring at me the whole time. Her mom was like, she loves your natural hair. And I was like, that just made me so happy. Like, things like that. And, like, I don't know, like, if my kids do not have to go to college, for me, it low-key was not an option. It was like, if you graduate high school in my household, you either gonna go to college or you're gonna go straight to the workforce. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. Pick one, keep going. So I don't want my kids to feel like that. I want them to feel like after they graduate high school, they can stay in my house and figure it out, you know. But I don't know, like, I'm in so much student debt. Like, I don't have to pay it back right now, but it's like, when you think about it, it's like, dang, like, I put myself through all this. I can't even find a job in my field. Like, I'm working at Amazon right now, which is good. Like, I don't care. Amazon is chill. You gotta make my own schedule. Like, I don't care. Like, and I work at night, so I can enjoy my days. I work 4 days, 3 days off. Like, I ain't tripping on none of that. Like, I'm good. But it's also like, you know, I really want more out of my life. And I'm probably gonna make another video after that. I'm just having late night rants, but I don't know. Like, if y'all watching this video, y'all can like comment down below and tell me y'all college experience and like post grad, or if you're in college. Like, if you in college, I don't want you to get discouraged. I don't want you to drop out. I want you to keep going. You know, if that's something you really want to do, keep going. If not, you know, just take time to figure out what you want to do. But I'm just speaking from my personal experience and how I feel. Like, I don't know. Like, sometimes, like, honestly, in my opinion, I know, like, people that want to get their masters right now, and I just be like, to me, it ain't worth it. Because if somebody ain't hire you right now, and then you get a master's, and if they did hire you, are they gonna pay you what you want to get paid for, or are they gonna pay you like $20 and under? Like, people who don't even have bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, even associate's degrees, people who have no degrees, literally out here making more money than people with degrees. So it's like, that's what makes me so upset, because it's like, you work so hard, you put yourself in there, you fight your parents for this FAFSA information, FAFSA, however you say it, and you can't even get a job. You can't even get paid for when you get paid. Like, people are underlooking you because you're so young, you're so immature, and you don't got no experience. And it's like, I need the experience to, move up in life, so I need somebody to give me a chance. Like, it's so aggravating. And I just stopped thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna work on continuing being an influencer, getting more brand deals, all that, like doing what I like to do. Like, I like doing natural hair videos. So I'm like over it. Like, I mean, yeah, I was down for a little while about it, and when I started working at Amazon, and I'm like, it is what it is. Like, life gonna pull itself together. Like, one day I will have everything I want. Mark my words. I will literally have everything I want. I will literally be a full-time influencer really, really soon. Like, doing what I love, So if you really, going through postgrad depression, just, if you don't know what you want to do, that's fine. Like, sometimes, it takes time, but you'll know what you want to do. And if it comes to change, that's fine too, because you'll know how to do many things, which is a good thing. But if you know what you want to do, and it has nothing to do with your degree, that's fine. Like, if you want to do lashes, do them. If you want to do nails, do them. If you want to do YouTube, do it. My thing is, if you're going to do it consistently, because, like, you're not going to get nowhere doing something like a couple times and then, like, expect something good to happen. Like, no, you have to be consistent. Like, literally, like, I will record all day, but it ended up being like, oh, but I have to think about, like, okay, do you want to work at Amazon for the next 30, 40 years? No? Okay, let's edit. Like, I literally have to talk to myself like that. But yeah, man, like, it's gonna all come together. You gotta believe in yourself. You gotta keep pushing. This is probably the longest video I made, but I feel like I'm talking to myself, not just to, like, y'all. But you just gotta keep going. Like, you young, you got so much ahead, you got so much you can do, you got so much potential, and, like, life is finna get so good. Like, of course you're gonna go through some struggles, but the best part about being successful and to getting to where you want to be is the journey, like the struggle and all of that. Because when you be successful, you're gonna be like, dang, remember the times, like, I was struggling to pay my rent, now I can pay everybody in my family rent. Like, like, things like that. That's why I don't be tripping over little things that I go through now. I'm like, it's only temporary. I'm gonna laugh at this years later, I mean, sometimes it is hard to think about, like, in that moment, then you're like, okay. But yeah, I just want to talk about life during college, after college, where my mind is with that. I don't know when they're going to get their student loan money back, but it ain't going to be no time soon. They better catch me when I'm a millionaire, because they are not getting that money back. But I heard that the student loan debt is on pause again. So, I mean, I don't care. I just graduated, so I got time. But to all my people out there in college, please keep going. To all my people out there after they graduated, no matter if it's recently or years ago or about to graduate and they scared, keep going. Listen to your heart. Go after your passion. And yeah. Oh, also some people who jumped out of college. Good job. Good job. Like, you found out that wasn't for you, so you made a big decision for yourself. Like, you didn't, like, listen to somebody else saying keep going to college when you want to go. So yeah, and that's all I have for this video. I'll see y'all in the next video. Probably gonna be another late night rant, I don't know yet. But thank you guys for watching. Y'all can comment down below anything y'all like. Keep y'all heads up, and bye.